What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down why I think there's going to be a bounce coming to the markets. Just notes that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15, not to mention 8.1% APY. The offer ends very soon in just 4 days, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, now let's talk about the market. So, as a reminder, we had Jerome Powell's speech, which in my opinion didn't really cause much. The market gapped up really hard as soon as this came out. And then once Jerome Powell finished, once his speech concluded, we saw a big rug pull in the markets. The market's dumped. So does this mean the market's going to crash? Many people may start shorting the market really hard, thinking we're about to see this big crash. Everyone thinks there's going to be a big dump for October. And I think there might be a dump coming to October, but I don't think we're ready yet. We're not in October yet. So I think that the market is going to fool a lot of investors. So what I think is happening is they're dumping the market really hard, and they're trying to grab liquidity. They're trying to, grab all this liquidity because they're getting ready for a very, very big move. Because when you look at the economic calendar tomorrow, it's going to be Friday. Before the market opens, we have PCE data coming out. And we know this data is going to most likely be decent because all the CPI reports were decent as well for the last couple of months. So this might cause a very, very big pivot in the markets. And I think that this dump is them getting ready for a big pump for PCE. At least that's the most likely case. Now, here are the levels to watch for. If SPY wants to turn bearish, I want to see it lose at least 569. If we close below that, then yes, we could be looking for a bigger dump. But I don't think that's going to happen because we have our 20 EMA as a strong support, and we have PCE for tomorrow. So I think that they're just getting ready for a very, very opposite reaction. I also want to call out that don't be too fooled by what we see on the daily chart. Even if we do get a weak close today, for example, we are looking like we have a weak daily candlestick, but this happened many times despite getting these gaps up. So it's all just trickery. So what I presume is going to happen is we see SPY continue to dip a little bit. We could get very close to 569 to 570. The 570 area is very possible. I think we just touched 571. So it could dip a little bit more, but for me to turn more bearish, I want to see it lose 568 specifically. If we don't lose that, I think there's a good chance of us getting a nice rebound going into tomorrow thanks to PCE, and we could be retesting the all-time highs. I think that's most likely going to happen. If you look at ES, we're dipping right now, but we're still holding our 20 EMA. I think that we might try to hold this 5780 area. There's a good chance it tries to hold, and we'll see if we get a bounce off that or not. But I think this is going to base very soon. We're going to be looking for a rebound. If we lose 57.80, we're at risk of coming down to about 57.70. And if we don't manage to close, or if we don't manage to hold above that during the 4-hour close, then yes, I will be concerned. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we could dip towards these levels and try to rebound and try to hold our 20 EMA. And there might be a bounce coming to ES again in anticipation of PCE. For NVIDIA, has been dipping quite a bit all the way down to about 122. I think there's a good chance this tries to rebound again. So it came down to 122 only to rebound already. So it might try to rebound even more. You guys could see how this really moved. So going into tomorrow, there might be more upside potential as we haven't really made our full measured move. And we could be retesting the highs of today going into tomorrow because of PCE data. For Tesla, we've dumped quite a bit, but I think that as long as we don't lose 249, we're going to try to bounce. If we do lose 249, we're looking for 244 as our target. But in my opinion, I think that 249 to 250 is where this thing is mainly going to base. And after that, this should be trying to rebound back up to 260 thanks to PCE data. For NQ, we've dipped quite a bit, but we're still testing our 20 EMA at 20,200. As long as we don't lose 20,000, I think we're going to be completely fine. I think that this will attempt to rebound very, very soon. I think that PCE is going to be decent, and this might be dipping for 20,000 to 20,200 in this range down here before it tries to make a nice counter trend move back up to 20,400. For the QQQ, we've been dipping quite a bit. So we're going to be looking for basically 485 as support, not to mention 484. This entire range right here. I think we could dip closer to 485. I think we came very close to the 485s. If the bottom is not in yet, that's where we could be basing before it tries to rebound. I say that because when you look at the daily of the QQQ, I don't think we're done with the move. I think this is just a trick because this is going to turn everyone bearish this daily close, but we still have this gap to fill on the QQQ. I think we might fill this gap thanks to the PCE report. So look for a little bit more downside than a potential bounce that could be coming to try to fill this gap. So I think that's going to be the most likely case. We could be looking for 486, if not 485, to be tested. If that fails us, The main support is going to be our 4-hour 200 EMA and the 4-hour 20 EMA, excuse me, around 484. If that fails us, we can dip back down to 482. I don't think it's going to dip that though. I think we're very close to the bottom. I think 485 to 484 should do it. And this thing should bounce very, very soon as time goes on. I think Apple's going to try to rebound. I think that this thing has dipped quite a bit only to rebound. So I think that we're still technically trying to break out right over here. So this could lead to a very, very nice move. So in my opinion, I think Apple has potential. We could be looking for an attempt to get up to about the 230 area if this does continue this pivot. So there's most definitely potential in this, in my personal opinion. So we could dip to about 227 before we try to bounce back up to 230. There is most definitely potential for this. For others out there, such as the IWM Russell 2000, we've been dipping. We could actually dip a little bit more. We could be looking for a retest of the 218 area before it tries to bounce back up to 220 plus. So I think we could dip a bit before the bounce ends up coming after PCE. I think coin is trying to rebound already, so it's making an early start. This may be leading the markets, believe it or not, because it's following Bitcoin. So it could dip. We already dipped quite a bit only to rebound, so we could be looking for 176 or higher. And Bitcoin, of all things, is trying to climb up. We could be on our way back up to 65,000 very soon. We did dip a bit only to rebound, so Bitcoin is showing some strength. For a few more, we have Amazon. I think Amazon's going to base between 190 and 188 at the 50 EMA at one of these levels before it tries to bounce. So 188 to 190 is where we could try to kind of bottom before it tries to rebound back up into the 190s. So look for a little bit more downside before we see the bigger move. For Meta, we're looking for 562. If that fails us, we're dipping all the way down towards 556. So we could be dipping a little bit lower before it tries to rebound. So we'll see how things go. For Microsoft, we're dipping right here all the way down towards 430. We could be dipping for 429 to 430 as our bottom before it tries to rebound. So watch to see what the move happens to be. For Google, we're also dipping a little bit. We could be looking for basically 164 supports. If that fails us, we're looking for a dip back down towards 163, and we'll see if we get a bounce or not. But look for a little bit more downside on Google before it tries to rebound, but I still think there's potential in this. So I think it might dip a little bit more to the 163s before it tries to get that bounce, but overall there is potential. So what's my view of the market, guys? As crazy as this sounds, well, everyone's turning bearish right now. I think that the market could dip a little bit more, but we're doing this because they're getting ready for PCE and they might actually cause an opposite reaction to trick so many people. Because when you think about it, with the way the market moved, we dumped really hard to basically fool a lot of bears into thinking that we're going to crash from this point on. And the bulls may even be kind of worried right now, but rarely anyone is buying the dips right now in the market thinking we're about to see another break of all-time highs. And I think that that's going to be the most likely move because once again, PCE comes down, they're going to use that as the perfect excuse to squeeze things and hurt as many people as possible. So that's what I think is about to happen. So there should be a bounce coming very soon. We'll see where the market bases, and we'll be very, very patient nonetheless. I thank you for listening. Have a great day, and peace out.